Hello there, my darlings. This is Lady Zelda with True Oracle, and do you know what today is? Let's see. I'll give you a minute. Okay. Today is February 12th of 2025, and it is a full moon in the sign of Leo. It is considered to be a snow moon. In many cultures, it is celebrated in so many ways, but I kind of like the Hopi tribe of Indians because they say, this is something that needs renewal and strength, and I'm all about that. And especially for today and some of the times that we live in, and some of us are experiencing a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. So here we are, the full moon in Leo. So this is a collective reading for all signs, sun, rising, and moon. So as we go forward, I want to invite you to use your gut instincts today, to use this power of the moon to shed this moony light and vibe all over you, to give you strength, an infinite amount of strength that you never really understood that you had. I like this card. This is the card for a Leo. And you see, we have some representations in this card. First of all, there's the infinite amount of wisdom. And when you compare these two characters, it's going to take a lot of wisdom to overcome this kitty. But she does it because it is wisdom over strength many times. And that's how we power through situations. Notice there's a curvature on her and a curvature on the kitty. Now, with both, that means it is concave and convex. Opposites attract. It can mean that the pieces of the puzzle now may be just coming together for you. Now let's take a look at this moon card, which is also a Pisces, by the way. This moon card, we're looking at particular goals. We're looking at the moon, and we're seeing that the moon looks back down on us. We are affected by each planetary phase. If you don't think so, ask a nurse or an EMT worker or police officer how things go on the night of a full moon. So we are just really affected by it. But this card goes one step further. It tells us of our gut instinct, of maybe our psychic ability, the ability to be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and much more. This is a card that basically says no matter what, no matter who, or even this little crusty fellow here, sorry buddy, who doesn't really have the mental capacity, knows that there is a goal. There's a goal in life. And the goal is to get close, is to get to the heavens part of your dream and your reality, where you can celebrate. It's really profound and very powerful. So I've got a couple of decks of cards here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two over here so we can continue to have them shine on the reading. I've got a beautiful Lenormand deck. It's kind of a cross between cartomancy and a tarot. It's very nice. You've seen this one before. And then we have the vintage tarot. We're going to pull out a few cards. We're just going to get the sentiment for you for the next coming days. Now, I'm going to say this full moon vibe may even last until the new moon, which comes on the 28th of this month. So maybe the next 10 days, we may be feeling the effects, I don't want to say leftover, but let's say residual effects of this moon phase. This is pretty good. I'm liking this so far. These are always good and very prosperous. And one of the reasons they call this a snow moon is because we are in the time of year where it literally takes the snow and the cold to help nature start over. It literally gets rid of the bad bacteria. It helps farmers, it helps us, it helps the environment, and helps the world. So we can basically wipe the slate clean for spring. So we are preparing. We have about another, I don't know, 45 days-ish for spring. So we're just going to make the best of this full moon while it is here. So as we shuffle these cards, we're asking for spirits, guides, and angels to give us some type of direction for today. Give us a precedent of what we can expect for today and the next few days. And I'm really there with the Hopi. I'm saying rest, renewal, regeneration. There we are. And look at this. A snake comes out with a Queen of Clubs. We have the cross with the Six of Clubs. And we have the Queen of Spades with this floral. Let's lay out two more. The King of Clubs. Look at him. He's looking pretty mighty, isn't he? And the Mountain card. And then we have the Queen of Hearts, which incidentally is the cartomancy for the Moon card. Also water signs. Loving that. And this King, the Queen, all of them fit together. All of them fit very earthy, very fiery, very airy, and very watery signs. So we've got a real collective idea and energy going here. But let's talk about the snake. I think there's some residual things that have been left over from a couple of months ago that now you're probably continuing to deal with, but they look like they're about to fade out. That's being taken care of. You're the one taking care of this, which is excellent. But you're on this new journey, on a new path. You're on a spiritual path. The Six of Clubs is telling me that this is a very good earning journey, something for you to be preparing for, and you have been preparing for this. This gal right here can be a Virgo, I'm going to say, but she also is showing that the winter time is a time in which, pardon me, we think ahead. We think of what we have that is getting ready to bloom, what is getting ready to blossom. Loving that. This King, wanting to go through this very mountainous area, very mountainous time, I have to hand it to you. If you are a Leo or a Pisces, you may really resonate with this, but listen, it is for all signs. You've mastered the ability to not only achieve getting over the mountain, but it going around it, going through it, and going under, if you have to get things accomplished. You have this renewed sense of having a lot of faith in yourself, which I'm loving that. Why? Well, because with this stork and this Queen of Hearts, you don't let emotion drive you. Used to think with your heart sometimes and not so much with your head, but now the winds of change have come. This is a brand new beginning for you, my darlings. It is the birth of a new beginning. Let's get out this tarot. Let's get out this tarot, this vintage tarot. I know you like it. Oh. And it is really energetic today. And look at this. We're going to let this out. There's a lot of cards below that. We're just going to take it as is because that sets precedence for the pile. This Magician card is telling you, telling me, telling us collectively as a whole that you have an infinite amount of power and wisdom behind you. And may I say this? Look at these two. Compare them. Both symbols of infinity, an infinite amount of strength. You have every element around you to be able to deal with what it is that you need to deal with over the next few days. You'll make it through. This is symbolizing the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and the swords, all elements. Air, water, earth, and fire, coming together to make you prosperous in all areas. Look at the cloak. That is a red. That is compassion, passion, control, can love. You've got this covered, my darling. I like to call this the manifestation card. If you're going to be manifesting, this is the card to hold on to, and to the temperance card, by the way. You see, he's got one hand up with a wand, and one hand and fingers pointing to the ground. As is above, so is below. Finding that perfect balance. As is above, so is below. Having that perfect balance right in front of you. Let's draw a couple of more cards here. Very interesting. These are your superpowers right here. The three, I'm just going to call them a superpower. We're just going to label them that. Your superpowers now are giving you the ability to recognize when you have to be moving on from a particular subject and going on to something else. If a circumstance is not serving you and you've been tirelessly putting a lot of energy into something and yet it hasn't really given you any fruition, it hasn't served you, yes, that's what it's supposed to do, it hasn't really accomplished anything, then it is time to move on. This Five of Pentacles, I interpret this, I think, more than somebody just being broke. It's more than that, and I don't feel that you're broke. Some of us may be broken in spirit, but you're getting that back, and probably from the time you see this video over the next few days, you're going to find a renewed sense of strength. With this card, let's look at these two characters. I'm just going to say probably a mother and a son. She's barefoot. He's on crutches. It's dire straits. They're walking in the snow and in the cold, but yet she has this red cloak on. That's power, compassion, love, control. And he's got, in this card, he's got a little green frock on. And that tells us that the only thing that they're lacking is money. Well, in my interpretation of this, going from beyond just stating, okay, this is a state of lack, let's move forward one moment. Because she recognizes this. He's looking to her for guidance, and he's keeping up because she's pretty much said, look, I've had it. I've had it. I'm not putting up with this anymore. There's got to be more than what there is now. There's got to be more than walking through the cold barefoot in rags. We may not have money now, but that doesn't mean that we're not rich. We have each other. So we're moving on. And for me, this is the recognition of knowing when you gotta just say, okay, to heck with it, it's time to move on. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You know, biblically speaking, the number 5 is grace. So give yourself that grace to be able to move on today. Move on in the next few days. If something just doesn't feel right and you've been putting so much effort into it and it's like, oh gosh. So that brings us to the next card of the superpowers. So you've got the Magician, where you have everything in your power to change things, manifest what you need, attract the perfect circumstance for yourself. Now is the time. With this beautiful moon in Leo, now is the time. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Because you see this Judgment card. We've got, it almost looks like a Swiss flag there. Be neutral. And that's kind of a not good idea. And once again, we have red in the wings. Compassion, power, love, control. You are in control of your own circumstances. Whether it is because of someone else or not, the fact, if you remain, is your choice. And that's what you're going to be finding out. And this card, it looks pretty dire. There are some people that are, well, coming out of the graves, may as well say, out of the caskets. And this angel's trumpet is blowing. As morbid as this may sound a little bit, it's very invigorating, because this is your call. It's your wake-up call. It's your wake-up call, and I'm going to go one step further and say it's beyond judgment. It has to do everything with discernment. You must have the power of discernment in order to be able to go on. Judgment, yeah, you can make a judgment call. There's nothing wrong with that. But the power of discernment goes a little deeper. You are able to look through things. And I'm going to say, maybe follow this king's path. Look through things of the mountain. Look over top, around it, under it, through it, to the point where you know exactly where you're going. And you don't have to be stuck, and you don't have to remain anymore. Let's get a final card. Let's get a final message for today's full moon in Leo. And I'm loving this. And remember, no matter when you see this, it is going to be a time that is going to be over the next few days. Even if you see it after the full moon in Leo, you're going to see this when you're supposed to see it, when you're ready. When you're ready. This 9 of spades, and then there's an anchor, and it's a boat on the shore. What a way to end this message for you. Here we have this anchor, and it is supposed to give us an indication of what this 9 of spades means. This 9 of spades means, okay, maybe you're a little in your head. Maybe you need to curb your imagination just a little bit. Maybe you need to come off the anxiety train. Maybe you just need to take a breath, and you need to stop and think, because you know what? You can depend on you. You've done it before. You can depend on you, and you can manifest what it is that you need. But the invitation from the guides here is, look, anchor yourself in, dig in, stay steady. Don't try to move too quickly. Make a plan. Hang out. Just take a breath. Hydrate. have something good to eat, and think it through. Because the end result is this. You have worked very hard. Communication has been key with you. That helps you keep in the know, and it helps you keep steady and stable. But the one thing I want to point out here, do you see this little mosaic here? This little stained glass? Above my fingernail there, don't know if you can see it. There's the initials PAX. That is a Latin word for peace. And you are about ready to find that peace. But you're going to have to maybe think about your circumstance and what it is that you need to do in order to be able to move on to find that peace. Because peace really isn't an automatic. Peace comes after you take care of what it is you need to take care of. And I know you know what I'm talking about. You see, there is a knight there, laying down, laying to rest. And you say, but Zelda, there are only 3 swords. Well, the 4th one he is laying on. Because he's basically integrated with these swords. They cut both ways. He's used them both ways. They've cleansed and they've torn down. And now it's his time to rest. And now, my darling, it's your time to rest too. You may have to see this a couple of times. You may want to send this over to a few people that you know that are going through a battle right now, but they need an encouraging word, and this is it. This full moon in Leo for February 12th of 2025. You've got this. You have got this. You can manifest all the strength, all the ability that you need, because you have that gut instinct right now that's given to you because of this moon phase. Use it. Utilize it. And I hope that you have enjoyed this today, because I surely have enjoyed bringing it to you. And if you would like to have a reading with me, check out the links in the description. You can get a video reading with me. There's all kinds of different things that you can find that I can help you with. In the meantime, do us a favor. Subscribe. We're going to have a 4,000 subscriber giveaway when we get there. Subscribe, like, share, and please comment. Let me know how you like this. I'm loving this for you today. And thank you so much for visiting us. And of course, we'll be back again very soon. Enjoy the full moon. I think I might even go out and howl tonight. See you soon. Bye for now.